racism is when one racial group thinks they're superior to another.
The pages of human history are filled with racism. Was there ever a time when racism did not exist?
People fear what they don't understand.
Will you take the time to understand me?
Or fear me?
Do you fear me? Fear can lead to anger and even hate.
Fear fuels the flame of racism.
Understanding others can help put the flame out.
Eliminating racism would cause a chain reaction that would greatly reduce war, disease, poverty, and illiteracy in our world.
We want the dark clouds of racial prejudice to pass away,
and the radiant stars of love to shine over our great world.
One day our descendants will think it is incredible that we paid so much attention to the pigment of our skin,
instead of the unique identities of each of us as complex human beings.
It's never too late to do what is right.
We learn to be racist. Therefore, we can learn not to be racist.
Freedom is an indivisible word.
If we want to enjoy it and fight for it,
we must be prepared to extend it to everyone,
no matter the color of our skin.
If a rattlesnake is cornered, it will become so angry it will bite itself.
That is exactly what racism is, a biting of oneself.
We think we are harming others, but the deeper harm is to ourselves.
Racism is not only the hateful words and actions of the bad people, but also the silence of the good people.
The future starts today, not tomorrow.
Let's make racism history.
Together we can make a difference. Say no to racism.
In the first century, Jesus said to love our neighbors as ourselves.
Love is the solution for racism.
Love can build bridges of understanding between every person in the world.
Love can defeat racism and prejudice.
We refuse to believe that racial tolerance cannot become a reality.
Unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word.
If you judge people, you have no time to love them.
Our generation will not stand for racism anymore.
We want change.
We demand it now.
What do you do in your community to help stop racism?
Are you part of the problem?
Or part of the solution?
We are going to take action.
We will start with education and awareness. Many people believe that racism will never end.
We know we may not be able to change the hearts of everyone, so we will focus on our generation.
Because we are the leaders of tomorrow.
It's up to us.
It's time to stop sitting around.
It's time to stand up for what you believe in. On August 28, 1963, Martin Luther King spoke his famous speech on the steps of Lincoln Memorial.
He said that he had a dream.
He had a dream that all people were created equal.
We still have that dream.
We believe we can change the world.
One student,
one school
at a time. Will you join us?
filming your short film, We Still Have a Dream, what situation stood out to you the most?
Well, when we were doing our rehearsal in the art room, none of the lines were going good, and all of them, they just sounded terrible because we had to change our lines on our script. So Mr. Wagner said, "You guys, we forgot to pray." So we all bowed our heads and we prayed, and we just prayed that the movie would turn out great and that everything would be perfect, and then in the end, it all did, and our line just came out perfect, and the movie turned out good.
Do you believe that praying really helped your movie?
I do, because I think that God can help you in any situation.
Well, on the first day, it was a little frustrating. Like, we couldn't expect it would go perfect. People weren't pronouncing their words correctly, and they weren't speaking with enthusiasm, but we worked through it. And I just remembered in my mind, we forgot to pray. And so I asked Mr. Wagner, could you lead us in prayer? And it really worked. Everything after that just went a lot more smooth, and for the rest of the time that we were filming, every time after we prayed, it really went well.
Okay, well, one of the things that stood out to me in We Still Have a Dream movie, and throughout most of the movies, but especially this movie, is when we received the Earth balloon on the final day, and we tried blowing it up. It kept blowing off of the fan, so we weren't able to blow it up. And the person that owns the balloon was doubting that we would be able to blow it up because it's an indoor balloon and it's never been blown up outside. And then one of the students told Mr. Wagner that we forgot to pray. So then we ended up praying, and when we turned our heads, the whole balloon was pretty much inflated, and then the rest of the filming went excellent. This entire year we've been talking about God and how He answers our prayers, and that especially showed when we were filming our 4 or 5 movies. And if we didn't pray, then it seemed that everything was going wrong and nothing was working for us. But then if we prayed, then everything seemed to be going very well and very easily, and we didn't have a problem. So it really showed our class and Mr. Wagner and anybody else that was involved in the movies that praying really does help.